AR-15. I mean, he's not wearing number
15.
15, but yeah,
15.
that's his nickname.
Say, yeah,
AR-5. He's wearing
I
5
don't
now.
care, bro. That's AR-15 to me.
AR-5.
Hey,
Yo,
man. Anthony Richardson, man. So let's talk about it.
yo, I didn't think he really had a bad game. Like the game started. Yo, honestly, hostile environment to be a freaking preseason game. Like the joint was freaking packed. Like, say what you want about the Bills, but like the fans definitely came out. Like it was Kids Day also. So I mean, I guess why. Like weather was kind of It was like a rain delay in the beginning. Like it was started pouring, thunder, lightning, all that. But once the game started, it was clear. It didn't rain during the game at all. But early possession, they were just doing a lot of RPOs, a lot of like little like repass, run pass options, stuff like that. They wasn't really letting him like rip it low. But when he did, though, he ended up going 7 for 12, 58%, 67 yards. He had a nasty pick on the first drive, yo. But that really wasn't his fault. Tried to do the RPO. The one receiver, he was blocking while he was literally blocking where he should have been like trying to run around. And that's kind of, he threw it to him. And pick 6, yeah. That kind of wasn't his fault. He had a beautiful ball to Alex Pierce, yo, one of his best drives of the night, but he just dropped it. Like, got it right in the basket. Bro, it would have been a touchdown. He should have ended the night with at least 100, 105, 115 yards. He had 2 bad drops, one by Pittman Jr., one in the end zone by Alex Pierce. That was his best throw. Saran Neal was draped all over him, bro, and he just put it right in the bucket in the end zone, and he just couldn't come up with it. But, yo, physical specimen, like, the man's huge, yo. I know the one time he tried to little RPO on the outside, he tried to sneak, ran Elam completely over, bro, like out of bounds. Like, or his corners and safeties are going to have to make a business decision tackling this man. Like, he's big.
They're saying that he's like that new age Cam.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what his physical is saying.
Yeah, he ended up ending with a 39.2 QBR, but yo, he had 2 drop passes. His best drive of the night got stalled out because of a drop and a holding call. So it was he was doing what he was working with. Overall, once they can get a running game going, and if they figure out this Jonathan Taylor situation, I don't think he's going to be bad at all.
Yeah, man,
I don't think he's going to be bad.
Yeah, I find in today's NFL, it's very hard to be bad as a quarterback that's a top pick, right? Because it's
hey, man, I don't know about that because that Bayern San fan,
he's awful.
We're honestly, but we don't know how that's gonna pan out though. Like he hasn't really played. He's played like what? 5 games?
5 games maybe.
Yeah, he hasn't, and that's even football as a whole, bro. Like even going back to when he got drafted, that COVID year, he only played like 1 game, so he really hasn't played football in like 3-4 years.
Like today's day and age is tailored for these talented quarterbacks. Like I think we're gonna see less and less busts in the quarterback position. Like Anthony Richardson I think he's gonna be a stud for sure, right? And the Colts, I'm so happy that they finally stop this, signing old quarterbacks for 1 year and see how it plays out. Like I could tell 2 years ago it wasn't gonna work. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to do that. I thought at first when they got Phillip Rivers, it could work because the O-line was good, but it was a disaster. Like Phillip Rivers lost in how many games? You know what I mean? So listen, preseason is difficult for me to judge because it's the only time I've ever seen a quarterback in the preseason, I'm like, he's gonna be nice is Dak. That's it. Like that's the only time I've been able to really feel like, okay, like he's gonna be nice. Other than that, it's preseason, bro.
So what's your thoughts on what the rookie quarterbacks showed this preseason so far?
For example, like CJ Stroud did not have a good game at all.
You only threw it 4 times though.
No, I know, but I'm not putting any stock in his bad performance. Like, it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like, I think, like I said, it's so difficult to be a bad quarterback now in comparison to other, like, in the past, right? Look at Trevor Lawrence. His first year was terrible.
Yeah.
And now you look at him and you're starting to see that potential that, okay, he was supposed to be like an Andrew Luck type of guy coming out of college. Now you're starting to see it. So I think it's just a matter of time and reps and your skill positions because now the skill positions are more important than ever.
With that being said, you got Sam Darnold who came out as number 3, and he didn't pan out to be really anything.
But look at what he was surrounded by though.
True, the Jets didn't give him nothing. They gave
You know?
Le'Veon Bell.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but just Luka for Anthony Richardson though.
Yeah.
Looking at his skill positions, it's Pittman, and then like I personally I don't care for Pierce, and then it's Jonathan Taylor. Like what else is really around him?
Mo Alley Cox.
What's that? Who's his tight end? Is it still Cox? Bro, like
I like Michael Pittman Jr. though. I like him.
yes,
I
I
like
think
the number 1.
I was about to say I think he's more
He's
of
not
a number two receiver, personally speaking.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because I feel like with that type of receiver, you have to be like. Whereas if there is no other great receivers on your team, you have to be a speedster because you can't just be like you can't be on a team with a weak receiving core and you're a possession receiver.
It's hard. I don't know, but I seen Michael Thomas do it. And no, but I'm being honest. Like obviously,
Yeah, but I feel like that Michael Thomas benefited the type of quarterback that Drew Brees was.
I was about to say because the quarterback can put it exactly where.
I'm not even trying to be funny or anything. Michael Thomas hasn't played in so long. I kind of forgot his game, dog. like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, yo, okay, yeah, he was slant, catch, get down, like type. Okay, yeah, I had to just.
I don't think he's played 10 games in the last 3 seasons.
Bro, I don't think I understand. The year
4
he
seasons.
started 100 mil. The year after, wait, was it the year after he got 100 mil, or whenever he broke the record for catches, right? I think that was after the 100 mil.
Yeah.
That was like 2018, bro. That's just crazy.
No,
That was a while ago.
No, but what I'm saying is that was his first year out of the 5-year, $100 million contract. From that season, I think he played 7 games.
You're right.
Like it's incredible.
It's terrible.
And like they keep talking about, oh, he's coming back, and then it's like, at this point, bro, we got Chris Olave.
Y'all should have been traded him for real.
Like, yo,
He has no value, bro.
But
He had value 3 years ago when he was asking to be traded.
Like 4th, 5th round. Like, can you even do damage if you don't have the speed nowadays? In this day of NFL, can you be the number 1 receiver with no speed?
So I think you can because I seen D-Hop do it for so long, but I think you need another speedster with you.
So when the Colts draft Marvin Harrison,
like Keenan Allen isn't taking the top off any defenses, but he has Mike Will.
I don't know. Mike Will
was their speedster for a while. You said what?
I don't think Mike Will's a speedster. I think he's just a big body receiver as well.
Like maybe not speedster, but like deep. You need the deep threat guy.
I get what you're saying.
Yo, Colts are gonna draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
You think it'll be that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Marvin Harrison Jr. might go top 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Cardinals are bad, the Bucks are bad.
Yeah.
The Texans. I don't think the Texans.
You said Texans?
No, I don't think they're that bad.
I think the Texans are gonna have a surprisingly decent year. Like I can see them winning between 5 and 5, like 5 games.
I can see them getting 5.
The Titans are going to be worse than the Colts, in my opinion.
No, 0 chance. 0 chance.
They still got no.
The Titans are terrible.
But Derrick Henry is just he can win you games himself,
bro.
Yo, I was high on the Panthers before I seen their first preseason game. Before I seen their game.
Can we just stay on this QB?
Okay, so I ain't watching. Was Bryce bad?
No,
he wasn't bad.
His O-line is the worst O-line I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. They just couldn't protect him.
9 times, and he got hit 8 out of the 9. Like,
were they playing their starters?
No, the Jets didn't play any of our starters on the D line.
No. Was that the starting O-line though?
Yes.
Yeah, I think came out.
Panthers played. They started.
Why would they put Bryce out there with backups? That would be kind
of the backups. Yeah.
So
they got to kill him.
But overall, Bryce personally, he went 4 for 6, 67 yards or 67%, 21 yards on a 72.2 QBR. So it wasn't all bad. He was just on the floor a lot. Like
he had a 72.2 QBR passer rating.
Passer rating. My bad.
Okay, you scared? I was like 72
Yeah, my bad.
I was
Passer
like- with 21 passing yards. It's a crazy.
rating.
So like, was he purposely like hitting the checkdowns, or like I'm assuming he just didn't have time to throw the ball down the field?
Yeah, pretty much.
He snapped the ball and everyone's there. He's got to make a decision.
Yeah.
But
Like the
It was like a lot of touchdown slants.
I didn't understand them trading with the Bears because to me it was like, you guys are bad.
yep.
Like now the Bears have an opportunity. I don't think the Bears are going to be really bad this year.
I think they'll be really good. I think
So
they
Luca,
Really
Luca, what
good?
what teams are going to be bad then?
I personally think the Titans are going to be bad. I think the Bucks are going to be bad. I think the Panthers are going to be bad.
Green Bay.
Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to be
Oh,
bad. I don't think
Green
Green
Bay.
Bay-
I'm gonna keep track of these teams too.
Yeah,
think-
Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be good. Green Bay is going to. I don't know about nice, but I think they'll be good.
I don't think they're gonna be as bad as people think. Green Bay.
Yeah, no.
I'm not a fan of them at all.
Well-
I like Jordan Love. I know I don't really have much to go off of, but it just kind of feels like it's following in that trend of, Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre, Jordan Love sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. Like, it feels like they're just gonna do Green Bay stuff and hit the jackpot again and get one Super Bowl in like 30 what it's gonna be like 30
No way.
years by the time Jordan Love's done.
Bro, if
No,
Jordan
no,
Love
no.
wins a Super
Jordan
Bowl,
Love, it's hard to believe.
I don't know.
Hey man, yo, question. Based off of obviously it's preseason, you can't really judge off of them. But two starters that I think come to mind with a rookie backup who can kind of put pressure under them: Deshaun Watson with DTR and Matthew Stafford with Bennett, or whatever how we pronounce the name.
Stetson Bennett, yeah. Like
I don't
Matthew
think.
Stafford for sure, but with D-Watt, there's no way.
D-Watt,
Look at
they
that,
paying-
bro.
oh, yeah, they're paying
There's no
D-Watt
way
way
in hell
too
that
much.
he's not gonna start for at least the next 2-3 years.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying this year at all. I'm not saying this year at all. But I feel like, for example, all right, D-Watt didn't have a good year, right? Okay, what was it? Last 6 games last year, terrible, right? Comes in this year. What if he's bad again for the entire year? Do you kind of start questioning like, yo, we know we paid you the money, but we might just gotta hug it, especially if DTR continues the ball?
No, that's too much money.
Too much money.
That's
I
too
don't
much money.
DTR hasn't been playing that well.
So you think Cleveland just kind of locked themselves in regardless, do or die?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, like, I mean, this is obviously biased, but I think D-Watt will be back to looking more like himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
hasn't
don't
played
know if you
gender
can really put a lot of stock in last season. Like he that was the first time playing in like a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I guess
it's hard to tell. Now that
Like, maybe
he
forgetting the last full year he played, he led the league in passing yards.
he was the second best quarterback in the league.
Thank you. Yes.
Like everyone wants to like sugarcoat it. I was like, oh, like top 6. No, he was a top 2. He was top 2 in the league. Like it was him and Mahomes.
Yeah.
And people were saying, Jamal, if I recall correctly, you were saying like, yo, if they switch spots,
If they
like,
switch teams, he would do the exact same shit Mahomes did. Yes,
Yes.
I stand by that.
yeah,
Yeah. No, yo, at the one point, he was what? A quarter and a half away from going to the Super Bowl when the Chiefs just came back and blew them out.
Yeah.
They were up like 24-0 at half. Like, no, Texans,
and then
he can do it. It's just he can't just be a freak man off the field. That's what it comes down to. Like, he can do it. Like, he's good. I think he's good. He's just got to control himself.
hey man.
I'm what, man?
Hey man, Justin said I'm gonna call it how it is, bro.
yeah, man.
I'm gonna just say it.
Nah, I hear you.
No, I agree. Like the money is just way too much, like for them to be doing all that. You
Like,
know?
if they find someone willing to take on that contract, if he plays that bad for, I think at least another year and a half, I think they would consider
Yeah.
trading him. But if he's playing that bad, I don't think anyone's going to take on that contract.
I
So I
know.
think they will have to hug it.
I think we have to. I think we have to slow down. This guy has played 2 preseason games. Like,
I know, for sure. No, Hey, I'm just stating because again, D Watt did not show. He didn't show anything last year. And again, you can say it's last year, right? But now it's just kind of, obviously it's hypothetical. But it's like, all right, well now what if he comes in this year and has the same type of season, like same type of performances where it's like the team's not looking good with him. Like, at some point, if you just touch basketball real quick, it's kind of like when was it Russ is looking terrible, absolutely terrible. At some point, it's like, hey, I know what you did,
I think it's.
but you're not doing
Sorry
it
to
for
cut
us.
you off. Just looking at the basketball analogy, I think it is a bit different because most basketball contracts are fully guaranteed. So teams like going into it, they know that. NFL, that's almost completely unheard of.
I get what you're saying.
I think if he had signed any regular quarterback contract, then
Yes.
I think there would be more credence to what you're saying. But because it's like the only fully guaranteed contract,
Okay.
I think it's like
And,
I'm not-
and you got to remember, most owners were pissed at Cleveland's owners for giving him that contract because they were like, bro, this is unprecedented. Like every QB is going to want that. So I feel like if he don't pan out, the owners aren't going to trade him just based off of that. Like, yo,
But
like
the Mahomes deal bailed out everyone else
Yeah.
because it's like
Mahomes should have asked for 20 years fully guaranteed after that.
I think Mahomes going to be structured like that. Like, bro, I seen yesterday, 2 days ago. I think it's going to be structured. Bro, I seen a couple days ago that him making, I think 50 mil a year, because that's what it ended up being. It's like the 6th highest now.
yeah.
But there's not 5 other QBs better than him, straight up. No matter how.
Even within his contract, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's terminology built in there that basically says like every year is a restructure based on like the salary cap numbers and shit like that.
So he gets to go up every time the year comes.
who's the highest paid right now? Jalen, right?
I think it's Lamar.
No, it's Herbert.
Oh,
Herbert.
Yeah, because he just signed. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be Joe Burrow soon.
Burrow in a couple months. Like
I was reading something. It's a little off topic on the QBs, but on RBs.
Yeah.
The highest paid RB right now
Bijan
is Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson.
don't make no sense. And to make it worse, I'm sorry, I love Josh Uche. Josh Uche makes more money than him.
Like, bro, that's disgusting.
That's insane.
That's disgusting.
That's nuts.
That just shows where the running back market really is.
Yeah.
Is that factual though? Because I think McCaffrey must be
You know,
higher, no?
Like, no,
McCaffrey
because basically the way
paid-
he structured his deal is very front loaded. So Bijan's getting like 15 mil or something this year.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
It wasn't total deal. It was like
So it's like
23.
Bijan gets like 13.6
Yeah, I think
mil like
like this
like he
season.
like leaves it in like cash. But annually, McCaffrey is the highest paid running back at 16 mil a year.
I mean, this is
So
a good
Bijan
segue into the running back. It's a good segue into the running back topic.
Easily. So, oh man, the whole running back situation. Oh, where do you start?
Saquon let them down, bro.
You know what?
They did the whole meeting. Everyone was on board, and Saquon said, "Nah, fuck that."
Hey, man.
Bro, that's what I would love to know how the other RBs feel about this, because they had a Zoom call about all the RBs sticking together,
I just
and for this man to just go rogue on that and be like, "Yo,
Bro,
I'm
and it was
1 year, 10 mil deal."
I felt like
It's
he
kinda insane.
days later.
And the thing
Yeah.
is, bro, they basically offered him a 2-year, what was it, $22 million deal or something that he didn't want. That was the whole reason for the holdout. And he basically took, 1 year, 10 mil could go up to what, 13 mil with incentives?
Right.
Like for $2 million more for real?
Right.
Just because- I heard it's because he wanted to be a free agent guaranteed quicker. And so he didn't want to have a 2-year contract. He wanted like the 1 year. I guess that's why he just took it. But my whole thing is like, so that I don't know the exact how it works, but like, couldn't they just tag him next year?
If that's the case, he should have just signed the tag.
Right. Because they're just gonna tag him next year.
Yeah. So
You know what my issue with the running back situation right now is just that I feel like they're basing it off of 2 examples, like Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott. Like we're ignoring all the other running backs that have produced on a consistent basis for the two, I don't want to say anomalies because it does happen, but like Todd Gurley was a freak situation. Like he just fell off of a cliff. Like
Yeah.
it was
He was
mind-boggling.
injured, though, no? Injured.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
arthritic
the
knee, if
Rams-
I recall correctly.
Yeah.
And another team that was messing with it is freaking Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs, because he was what, a 5th rounder, and he was making
I think
no
it's 7th rounder.
seventh rounder, right? And he's making like that. That kind of throws it off.
Yeah. I seen that thing. I don't know if I sent it in a group chat, but like with Pacheco, I think, well, he's never gonna see the money.
No.
Especially he came into the league old, bro. By the time his contract's up, they said what, he's gonna be 28 or 29,
Yeah, 28.
and it's it sucks because the way this NFL is going, they're not paying running backs at 20, 28, 29 years old.
Bro, at this rate, you're lucky to be in the NBA as a start, even as like a starting running back at like 26 plus.
And especially with the team that he's on, like they're just
Go find someone else. Like,
See the plug and play, bro.
Yeah.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He was the
Bro.
pick, what, 2 years ago? 3 years?
Right.
Whatever.
And he's probably getting cut this year.
It's
Mhm.
insane. And then Jake McKinnon just ended up like elevating his star.
yeah, that was crazy. It was like, for him, it was like the perfect situation.
Yeah, and it was like perfectly lined up.
Because low key, his career was kind of done.
It he was done strictly through injuries, bro. Not because he didn't perform.
Yeah.
He just couldn't stay healthy. But every time it's like, oh, when he is healthy, him catching the ball out the backfield was impressive. And
But I mean, on the running back situation, these are talks I feel like they need to be brought up at the CBA, because how much of this is because they're running their running backs into the ground? Like I don't know if you could say put a limit on running back touches, but that's why they get so wore down and their bodies is hurting so much.
Yeah.
So I seen something the other day when it came out about a Saquon, to be specific. And the Saquon thing said, well, if the Giants want, they can just, you want to sign a 1-year contract, no problem. They can just run him into the ground this year. And then it's like, all right, man, we got everything out of you. Now go. And it's
I forget which running back did it. I saw it a few years ago. Like, I never really thought much of it, but they had incentive clauses based on how many touches they get, and I think that's like running backs need to start doing that going forward.
I wasn't Lev.
If you said Lev,
Wasn't Lev?
it could have been Lev. I don't remember who it was, but like,
It was the running back who was touching the ball.
Because if you're gonna get 300 touches a year, like, bro, you need to be paid accordingly. And then that was at least, even if they don't want to give you your touches, you're saving your body so then you could play in the league longer.
Yep.
I honestly think the NFL and the new CBA, and then when they do agree, it probably need to be a lockout. They got to somehow just abolish the franchise tag. They got
Take it out. Why is that a thing?
That's the only sport with a franchise tag or something like a franchise tag.
Let me tell me one player that says, "Oh, I love the franchise tag."
Probably the old guard or the old tackle who just
that's
up for a new deal.
That's what it is, because especially when you're looking at these big, or let me not say big leagues. When you look at the NBA, at least back when Chris Paul was running the shit, like it's all right, it's Chris Paul. But when you look at the NFL ambassadors for the Players Association, it's like, oh, it might be a starting O lineman from each team. It's like people, they ain't really affected by it as much, or they don't have as big of a voice. If you start seeing like these top quarterbacks going to these meetings, then I bet you like some shit's gonna change.
I feel like what's different, like you were saying, like the stars are represented for the CBA, and like the NBA CBA is like the superstars getting their right, like where the NFL is like their CBA are designed to like help the 53rd man on the roster, the 52, which is cool, but that kind of screws the elite players when it's time for them to get their deal. I feel like
that's why I don't think they'll ever be able to really come to a proper agreement, because like you said, like the NBA got 12 people to worry about.
True.
You know what I mean? NFL
and
got
contracts fully guaranteed.
Yes, and a lot of dudes, like you said, like the 53rd man on the roster, like he wants his bread. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really, because he knows he's not going to be a superstar.
Right.
Chances are he won't be a superstar. You know what I mean? So I think it's just NFL, like, negotiations is just such a slippery slope. And like you said, unless the quarterbacks end up getting screwed somehow, some way, no changes will ever be made because owners aren't going to listen unless it's because they're just going to look at receivers and running backs and O-line. You guys are replaceable.
So what's your guys' thoughts now on this whole Niners, and you've seen it with the Debo package? Like, that's a thing now. It's a legit part of the system, and it's like, oh, we can just take, even if it's a shorter receiver, a faster receiver, just put him at running back. And it's
I don't think that works for everyone though. I think that's like,
No, you got to be a special breed.
yeah, like that's literally the Debo package because he like very few people could do that.
To do it, yeah. You got to be a dog. The Browns are doing it with Elijah Moore this year. I'm curious to see how that's going to work out because I think Elijah Moore can do it. He definitely got a dog.
I'll be honest. I think that Debo package works if you're trying. I think another way of going almost like 5 wide, right? I feel like because it's such a passing league,
So
why should it work?
I hear what you're saying, but if you're gonna do that, like, unless you or until you show that you can run out of it, which obviously San Fran has, teams are gonna see that, and that like they don't know the package when they're going to the field. Like the eye in the sky is gonna tell them, oh, they have 5 wide, so their defenses are gonna line up accordingly. The reason the Debo package is so special is because San Fran will run with Debo out of that. So then, like, defenses are like, oh shit, we need to keep our linebackers in the game. We can't go into diamond nickel.
I hear that. No,
I think Jahmyr Gibbs too is going to be in that mold.
Yeah, Jahmyr
and
Gibbs.
Robinson.
He's going to be a stud.
Yeah, Jahmyr is going to be a problem.
I kind of laughed. Like, I laughed and was like,
I still think he went too high. I fuck with him, but I still think that was a reach of a pick.
Yeah.
It wasn't reach. I was just saying, like, I laughed at the Lions when they picked him in the first round. I think it was reach, but hey, I think it's gonna pan out though. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna pan out. He's been looking good. And he destroyed the Giants in their joint practices. Like he was ripping them up. He was doing pretty good.
Bro, I heard in the joint practice, Thibodeau looked like shit, and Aiden Hutchinson was like that dude.
Yeah, yeah. The Giants really struggled against the joint practice with the Lions. Like Daniel Jones was throwing picks after. I think he threw like 3 picks in like the team drill or something like that.
Wow.
Like they're struggling bad.
No, I feel though like, all right. So then, what's your thoughts on what do you guys think on the future of running backs coming from college now with the whole type of running back you are? Because I think
it's definitely shifting toward, or not. It's shifting. It has shifted towards the Kamara CMC type, like the Lev. Honestly, I don't care. Well, if we're being real, Matt Forte started that shit, but Lev really was the one doing that shit.
Yeah.
Ever
Marshall
since
Falk,
then,
Marshall Falk was doing that too.
Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk was
So like I feel like if you're a college running back now, but you're like that bruiser, it's hard, bro. It's hard.
If I'm a college running back, since college sports with the NILs becoming a business anyway, a professional sport anyway. If I'm like Texas, if I'm at Texas and I'm Bijan Robinson, like a high player thing I know, I'm telling the coach like, yo, don't give me over 200 yards, don't give me 200 carries a season type shit. Like I gotta have these legs for longevity. Like RB's got to start having these conversations with coaches. Like, yo,
realistic.
Right, that's realistic. Like, yo, you can't really give me all these carries. I still need like trying to win for the program. Stuff like that. Future, like
they said that from Alabama running backs, right? Outside of Mike Ingram, Mike Henry. And I'm like, what the hell, Derrick Henry. I feel like a lot of those guys, bro,
they're burnt out when they get to the league.
Right. For example,
they're good off their rookie contract, but after that, it's like it's hard, bro. Like it's hard.
Well, plus, like we said, they're not valued at all. So it's like the more you can do, the better for us. Once you're done, we'll get your replacement. So it's
right. And then the fact that once you turn 30, it's a wrap for you. It's kind of crazy too. Like,
especially since you gotta wait until you're at least like 22, 23 to even
get in. It's like, yo, you get into maybe, hopefully nowadays, last 4 years. be relevant for 4 years.
Yeah.
And by like the 5th, 6th year, you might be on the backups. At 7th, you might be hitting practice squads, and then it's like, all right, now you're.
Well, yeah, look at what's his name, Melvin Gordon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, even though he ain't do all that much for the Broncos, bro, his last year with the Chargers, he balled.
Yeah. He had
That's what I
1,000
mean.
yards.
That was his best because his first couple of years in the league, like it was a little bit underwhelming given what he had done in college and what you
Coming out of
expected.
Wisconsin, holy, he was.
And he finally, like you said, he had a good year at the Chargers. He became a touchdown machine, and they just let him go, which was surprising to me. But they saw something in Austin Eckler that I guess.
But I mean, shit, they about to do the same thing with Eckler.
Eckler, right. They're not paying Eckler. He's pissed.
But you know,
Oh, did Eckler step in?
Nah.
No, bro, they're not paying
Uh,
it.
It was a restructure.
They wanted to organize the running back meeting.
No, because I knew there was something with his contract, so I thought he got paid.
No, he got restructured.
That makes sense then. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Honestly, it's weird because there's not really one way to fix the running back market in the NFL right now. Like, as much as you want it to be fixed, there's no viable solution right now.
Hey, bro, this is why I like what Etienne said. I think it's the most realistic shit. Like, if you want to bring value to yourself now at the running back position, even if you're in the league,
Receiver.
you got to be able to catch the ball now.
yes,
You have to.
But
because
I feel like-
you look at guys like McCaffrey, Kamara, Saquon. Like, look how many injuries McCaffrey has had. Look how many games he's missed.
Yeah.
If he was just a running back, he couldn't receive a pass. I don't think he would still be viewed as one of the best running backs in the league because
Yeah.
he wouldn't be the same, right?
Yeah.
I think if you want longevity at the running back position now, you have to be that dual threat like a McCaffrey, like a Saquon. And it's weird because they're like if you're 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, Derrick Henry's not seeing the ball,
He
Yeah.
isn't. He is the
Yeah.
decoy.
right? And those guys are, right? So they might sometimes even get more touches in a season than Derrick Henry just between catching and rushing the ball. But I guess like just the contact is not as bruising as it is when you just run the ball.
Because when you're running between the tackles. So you have to deal with the linemen, you have to deal with the linebackers. Like, for the most part, shit, I played DB, but if I had to choose between getting hit by a DB and getting hit by a linebacker, fuck, I'm taking the DB every time.
For sure, bro. And like I just feel like it just allows you from now, just as a game plan, and you're forcing. You can't have that Ray Lewis type. I'll go with Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis type linebacker now who can just sit in the box because you have multiple Adrian Petersons in the league. Right? It's like, yo, you need that big linebacker. Now your linebacker got to cover. He needs to be able to cover. And if he doesn't, he's going to get exposed. And now it's like, hey, bro, that's why McCaffrey, Kamara, those guys, especially when they do that whole motion from the backfield to the slot, bro, if you see that linebacker walk out, it's over. So
Yeah.
like it's hard. And obviously, like we were saying, these guys are bigger than a DB per se. So like, hey, if they get the ball just one-on-one with a DB, they're taking that every time in comparison to the linebacker. So yeah, I feel this
Well, that's why I mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's gonna fit that mold perfectly.
Yeah.
Run out, he could even play in the slot, bro. That's how good he is at route running.
yeah, I feel like you have to now though.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just gonna say, to answer that initial question, I do think like that's the running back shit. Like, going forward, we're gonna see more and more guys like that. We'll probably have like 5 backs a year who are doing that, like that or similar type shit.
yeah, I feel like and that's why I feel like it's gonna cut so many more running backs' careers shorter if you don't offer that pass catch.
Yeah.
And
Quick breaking news, I guess. Zach Martin just ended his holdout.
Yeah.
oh,
$36 million over the next 2 seasons he gets.
okay, what's that? 18?
I mean, listen, he deserves it. I don't even know why there was a holdout to begin
The
with.
best. He's been the best wide receiver in the league for what, 5, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah, you know Jerry Jones though.
Right, Jerry's just being.
I mean, shit, I hear you, but He been paying his players. The issue is he been paying the wrong ones.
Right, yo, he has. He paid Zeke and he paid Dak, and yeah,
Bro, he paid Amari Cooper and then
And
traded
he
him.
paid Cooper
traded him. Yeah,
for a fifth rounder, bro. But yeah,
bro,
now-
that Zeke contract was bad. Like, I guess at the moment, at the time, he deserved. And that's another thing. Like, Zeke kind of hurt the RB market too, because his contract, he kind of went downhill after his contract. Also,
what was he? 21? What was Zeke at?
Zeke signed that deal in 2019.
No, no, but
It might have been a year before the pandemic. I'm pretty
But
sure.
how much though? Do y'all remember?
Oh, I do not have the number.
It was in the
Isn't it
20s.
like 80 million?
Yeah, it was high. It was up there.
Shit.
It was up there.
He's on a 6-year, $90 million contract.
A 6-year,
Holy.
$90 million. Okay.
Yeah. I running back, bro.
I'm telling you, that set running backs back.
Because
Yeah,
he
it
didn't
did.
he didn't do
Really ain't do
anything
shit.
else with it, bro.